Hi guys, Lisa Edwards here of Exclusive Career Coaching, and today I want to talk about how and when to negotiate a job offer. So this is a question I get from my clients a lot. I do coaching around this. And the first thing you need to know about negotiating a job offer is that you have a relatively small window of time in which to do that. And it is the time between when a bona fide job offer has been made and when you accept the offer. So what I mean by a bona fide job offer is you have been officially offered the position. Typically that's in writing. It might be in verbal with like writing to come, but they have offered you the job. They're not speaking hypothetically, what would it take to get you here or what if, but they're saying, we want you in the position. We would like you to start on such and such a date or something along those lines. Here's the salary. All of that information is provided. So that's kind of when the clock starts ticking for you to negotiate a job offer. It ends when you accept, because I can promise you that after you accept the job, there's no chance that they're going to come back and say, oh yeah, we didn't give you enough money. We didn't give you enough whatever. So that's your window of opportunity. And if you are unclear if you have been given a bona fide job offer, then you want to ask the question, are you offering me the position? Are you making me an offer? If there is any ambiguity about that. All right, so that's your window of opportunity. And you have three options at the time you receive the offer. And number one is you can accept it outright as it is. You love it. You don't see any reason to negotiate any part of it. You're thrilled. The second option is to reject the offer. And this usually happens because either the salary is so low that you don't think you're even, ever going to get in the same ballpark, or you have been given another offer, or, there's some reason that you're just going to outright, you're not even interested in negotiating. You realize after going through the interview that it's not the job for you, and there's, definitely you don't want to work there. And then finally, there is the negotiation. So the third option when you receive an offer is to counter, typically with an in writing a negotiation. So it's a counter offer, if you will. So I get a question a lot on, should I negotiate what I'm being given? Should I negotiate it? And here's my acid test. If you love everything in there and you feel like they've given you the moon and you're overjoyed by what you're seeing, then no, there isn't necessarily any reason to negotiate it. However, I'm not a fan of accepting the offer on the spot. I think it behooves you to get that offer, give yourself a weekend, or from Monday to Friday if you get the offer on a Monday, to review the offer and maybe have someone who you trust, especially if you're young and you haven't done this before, someone who you trust that can look at that offer and make sure that there's nothing in there that you're not seeing that could cause you problems. But you don't have to negotiate the offer. So let's talk about specifically when you might want to say no outright. So as I kind of alluded to, you've accepted another offer with another company. I am not a fan of rescinding an offer that you've already accepted. And that's why I want you to be really sure before you accept an offer that you want to accept it. One of the things that I teach my clients is to go back to, if there's another company, another position that they are more interested in than the one they've gotten the job offer in, go back to that company and see where you stand with them and then make that decision before you accept this offer and then a day later you get an offer from this company and you have to rescind this one. I don't like that. I think that kind of lack of integrity professional will come back to bite you. Also, if you have a conflict with the company, so there is something about the company, you find out that they have a business practice or maybe one of their products or a subsidiary of the company is in direct conflict with your morals, your beliefs, your values, then I would say to absolutely not accept that. If the salary or compensation is too low and it doesn't seem as if there's any way that you can, kind of meet them, or you've tried and they've said no to, your salary counter offer, then I would say no. And then if the company is unstable, so you do your homework and you hear some kind of rumblings that the company might be in distress because, here's the thing, last in, first out, right? So if you get hired on Monday and they let a bunch of people go on Friday, there's a fair chance that you might be one of the people that they let go. And if you have left a position to take that position, you left stable employment to go to this company and now they're out of a job, that's really unfortunate. So, all right. How do you decide what you should be asking for or what your counter offer should be in this negotiation process. Your best help is going to be researching, and you're going to want to research the local economy. The Department of Labor has this information. If you're still affiliated with a university, there's the National Association of Colleges and Employers. They put out an annual salary survey of college graduates' first destination is what it's called. What are people making? And that's a nationwide survey, so you really want to get local. You can look on something like salarycalculator.com that looks at cost of living in a certain area. So if you're going to move from somewhere in Arkansas to Chicago, there's going to be a really different cost of living. So you want to factor that in. So you want to do all your homework so that you have some data points, right? You kind of know what's the going rate for the work that you're being asked to do in your local geographic region. The other thing that you want to do, and this is kind of what I teach my clients when they go into the interview process, is I want you to have 3 numbers in mind relative to that job. And one number is, here's the ideal salary that I want to end up with. So I've done this research, I've done my homework, and I hope to make, let's just say $50,000 a year. Then you want to think, okay, what is my walkaway number? And that's the number at which I will not take this position. And this is what I've seen happen over and over again. Kind of, if you take that job from day one, you are resenting it because you cannot make your payments. You cannot meet your financial obligations. You're immediately having to think about getting a second job. So I'm not saying that you have to be cushy and wonderful in your salary, but if you can't meet, you can't make your car payment and your student loan payment and rent and just those basic things and eat and have a life, then you're not making enough money and you want to walk away. So what's that number? And then you want to, based on those 2 numbers, you want to come up with a starting point, because you want to start the salary negotiation above where you want to end up, right? So if you want to end up at 50,000, you want to maybe start the salary negotiation at 60,000 or 65,000 so that you'll end up where you want to be. The other thing, and I think I mentioned this a moment ago, you want to have a letter of negotiation with a counter proposal. So you want to kind of follow the format that they gave you the proposal on for your counter negotiation and provide justification for why you're asking for those things. Now, this negotiation that I'm talking about today is specific to salary negotiation, but you can follow this kind of process if what you want to negotiate is an additional week of vacation, or you want to negotiate some other aspect, something to do with your benefits more than your salary, work from home time. So again, you still have that window between a bona fide job offer and acceptance of an offer to do any kind of negotiation, whether it's salary, benefits, work environment, anything like that. So I hope this is helpful. As always, I want to be your career coach. So, hey, if you have a question, here's my email, Lisa, and it's Lesa, at exclusivecareercoaching.com. I invite you to follow me on Instagram at lisa.edwards, again, Lesa. You can follow me on Facebook at Exclusive Career Coaching. You can follow me on LinkedIn at Lisa Edwards, Lesa. And hey, if you'd like to meet with me one-on-one, we can schedule a 30-minute consult call. It's free of charge. And I promise I'm going to listen to your situation, whether it's about your job search or your career. And I'm going to give you at least 2 really great kind of tips, resources, strategies, best practices to move you along and move the needle for you. And if I think that I can help you further, I will let you know what that looks like during that call, but there's absolutely no obligation. So if you want to get on my calendar for one of those calls, the URL is www.timetrade.com/book/D6KLN. That again is www.timetrade.com/book/D6KLN. See you again soon.